Hello YouTube, here I am again. I realise every time I put a post out I'm leaving myself open for the extreme members of the Watchtower to criticise, and but that's okay. I'm just glad active members are, active Jehovah's Witnesses are actually accessing my site. That's good. I want to talk about the child, the safeguarding thing in general. Many active JWs on the site actually say, well, we abhor child abuse and stuff like that. And there's no doubt, we agree, you do. The problem is the Watchtower hiding it, not reporting it. That was the problem with the Australian Royal Commission. Over 1,000 cases of unreported, and that work still goes on. There will still be prosecutions, checks to see that changes have been made, and of course it's coming to the UK as well. It's coming to the UK by way of the Charities Commission. It's already gaining momentum, and pretty soon we will be able to watch, I am sure, as we watched the Australian Royal Commission as it did its work with the elders and governing member Geoffrey Jackson. I'm sure the same will be happening in this country. Of course, one thing the Watchtower does is point out that other churches have a problem with child abuse. In fact, every organisation does. First and foremost, us as activists, as human beings, as Christians, we're concerned with the children, the victims, not just the children, vulnerable adults. That's our concern, and as an activist, that's my concern with the Watchtower, that there should be change. But I just wanted to highlight a couple of things that certainly the organisation I work for, the Methodist Church, has done. I think it was 2014, the Methodist Church, in the wake of the Jimmy Savile revelations and all that, commissioned an independent inquiry into itself. And do you know what they found? They found evidence of historic abuse. The first thing they did was say sorry, which is what you'd expect, but also to update its policies and procedures. And I'm going to show you a few bits of evidence for this. I'm just going to hold these up. I won't hold them too close to the camera because they have personal details, my address and so forth. But here are two DBS, the Disclosure Barring Service. They're both mine. They're both in date from 2015. One's from a chaplaincy where I'm a volunteer chaplain, and one's from the Methodist Church. Anybody in any church, not just the Methodist Church, that has any contact with children will have one of these, which means you've been checked against a database and that sort of thing. It's not a guarantee, but it's a step that says we care. Another thing I'm going to hand up to the camera, and this is a certificate of me attending a safeguarding training day. This day did the 21st of May 2016, and it's mandatory for anybody in the Methodist Church that has any kind of contact with vulnerable individuals. We have to undertake this training, and I think that's very good, because if we do spot something, we're not sure, we know where we can go. We have a handout or a small booklet. And I need to add that this is all transparent. If you want to check the policies and procedures of the Methodist Church or any church, I know in our church you can access them. There is nothing secret or hidden. Which brings me to the Watchtower. The Elders' Manual, Shepherd the Flock of God. They like to think it's secret, don't you, elders? you keep your copy hidden away. If you get it bound, you make sure nobody's there. But I need to tell you that that book in its entirety is available online and in PDF form. This might shock some elders, certainly some that I've told that to, it's shocked them, but it is. But the mere fact that it's secret is a worrying thing in the first place. Nothing like that should be secret, it should be open. With the Charities Commission that's coming, the investigation, I have sent a PDF copy to the Charities Commission, and also any correspondence. We get all the correspondence out of HQ in America. We get it often before the elders in the Kingdom Halls get it. And I personally, and I'm not the only one I'm sure, have sent copies of those letters. Anything relating to safeguarding and the Elders Manual are in the Charities Commission. So you're well out of date if you think it's secret. The Charities Commission will investigate. The Watchtower has appealed several times now, but it's had it quashed. But that in itself is a worrying thing, that a charitable organisation is appealing against being investigated. That's a worry in itself. The one thing I can say is it's going to happen. If it's anything like the Australian Royal Commission, there will be some very, very reluctant elders in difficult positions, knowing that they had not reported child abuse and had dealt with it internally. They treated it as a sin, which it is, but not as a crime, which it also is. Again, as a Christian, as a Methodist church, I'm not here to say I'm perfect. I'm not saying my church is perfect. But what I am saying is we recognise the potential faults and we're doing something about it. The same in our own lives. What it is with the Watchtower is it's still in denial. I showed this certificate to my elder friend, explained to him what it was, and I said to him, in your 40 odd years in the Watchtower, have you ever done safeguarding training or issued certificates like that? He just looked at me and said, no, never. It's just not on their radar. The Australian Royal Commission, he had no idea. He just didn't know about it. And that's a worry, because any organisation that's bona fide, shall we say, if there's a problem in Australia or America, we would know about it, because it would be on our list. I mean, for instance, if it was a Methodist church somewhere else, we would get to hear of it and it would be on our prayer list. It's just transparent, whereas the Watchtower, it's very secretive. So, I bring this back again, that it's not about, we don't think, we know as Jehovah's Witnesses, most of you are good moral people. And I know you would abhor child abuse. But the organisation is keeping it secret, trying to keep itself clean, its image clean. But today we are in the age of information. People have their tablets, their phones, their mini computers. They don't rely on little bits of paper that you've written facts and figures. They say, prove it. And they can look up the information there and then. And so, as I often tell Jehovah's Witnesses, in today's age of information, ignorance is a choice. If you choose not to look at the evidence, that's your choice. And talking about evidence, if you go on YouTube now, they're still showing the CNN clips of the elders on trial. Elders in UK, I know some of you watch this stuff, my videos. You need to see that. You need to go on YouTube and see that, because there could be you very soon. You need to see Jeffrey Jackson, your governing body member. You need to see how he handled himself and the things he said on oath. you would be surprised at what he said. Again, I reiterate, this is not persecution, this is care and concern. It's not persecution. We do not, us activists, hate Jehovah's Witnesses. We may hate the system from above and the way it deals with you, but you as individuals, not so. That's all for now. I leave myself open for your comments, particularly you active JWs. I know you come on this site and you're very welcome. Bye for now.